All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, back to the spreadsheet that we were working on. All right. Um, I think the problem with the named range for total population was that I actually used the name before I defined it. After I deleted that named range, went back and created a new name for it, you can see I used the letters TP as the initials for total pop. It worked. So define the name before you actually use it. Probably makes sense to do that anyways. Um, Now look, it wants you to graph, right? Uh, this stuff. And so I wanted to do a real quick that we can take the first, these four columns for S, I, and R, and we can graph them. In fact, if I wanted, I could actually bring this further on down and graph a little bit more of this, because you can see the infecteds are still up in the thousands, right? It started at 1,000 and it's kind of increased, and it looks like it's going to decrease if I keep dragging these things down. So I decided I wanted to maybe graph a little bit more. All right, but we're going to select these four columns, and we're going to go over to insert, and we're going to insert a chart. Okay. Typically it's going to ask me, here we go, what do we want to do with this chart? So the data range is D1. We're doing susceptible, infectious, and removed. And yeah, this is what this is coming out with. The infectious has kind of increased a little bit and is now decreasing. Susceptible is, or this is the removed line, right? It gives you the grid up here. It didn't really have to do very much for it to come up with a, good chart, line chart for this. Okay. I can close that out, and I can kind of drag this over and kind of keep it out of the way as we go through. So if I wanted to graph more, I could drag these values down more if I wanted more time. Okay. But this is essentially what the graphs are. Susceptible population is decreasing because more and more and more of them are becoming infected and then removed. And the infectious goes up a little bit, right? Increases, it increases a little bit up to, about 1,134, somewhere right around there, and then goes down, right? It kind of increased quickly and went down. So that would be a good chart. If you only want to graph the 1 through 4, you can just select those boxes and kind of graph it. But I went ahead and graphed a little bit more. All right, there you go. That's how we can graph.